Good morning. Or afternoon, or evening, or night. Whenever you're watching this video, I hope it's good for you. So, I'm planning on breaking into the MS-170 again today. But before I do that, I want a little happiness in my life. Thanks to Joe Callahan. Maybe he goes by Joseph, I don't know. I got a little bit of happiness, right? Yeah. Check it out. So I have had minor dealings with Joe before. He sent me a crankcase for a Poland 3500. I think it's a 3500. And he also sent me a Craftsman Simpool. Isn't that called a Simpool? Yeah, it's the 55cc black Craftsman that has weird origins. I've yet to make a video on it. Anyways, but this one right here is pretty darn awesome. What this is a, wow, that's cool. This is a Solo 651 SP. So for a while, Craftsman obviously had Solo build them some saws. The story with this saw is that it was a one-owner, homeowner type that had it and, probably only used it a handful of times. And this will be the very first Solo that I have ever had. And what's shocking is that my very first knowledge of this was just a couple weeks ago at Hopperstock. I was at Hopperstock looking at Brennan Cass's, all his Solos. He really likes the Solos. He collects them. And I saw this on the shelf and I asked him about it. I said, what's that? And we talked about it because, I like the Craftsman stuff. For whatever reason. Some guys like fat girls. Some guys don't like girls at all. Whatever. We all have our likes and dislikes. For some reason, I really kind of get turned on by Craftsman chainsaws. I can't figure it out myself, but I don't need to. If you guys are out there and you're like, I'd never own that junk. Well, okay. Doesn't bother me. We all just like what we like. Like I don't like steel. I don't care for steel chainsaws much. I understand the quality, and some of them are high quality, some of them not so much. But it's more about the enjoyment of the saw for me. And for some reason, I really enjoy Craftsman chainsaws. So let's take a quick look at this right here. We've got an inboard clutch. It is a plastic tank, but it's a two-piece design with the tank versus crankcase. Very similar to a Husqvarna 2 Series setup. We have this shelf coming back here. That right there is magnesium. It appears to be, yeah. So it's a full magnesium split case, so it's a pro build saw. They also made this in the 651, right? But this is the 651 SP. And I believe the only differences between the 651 and the 651 SP was, I think that they both had limited coils, but the SP had a much lower limit, I think. And if you know about this, please put it in the comments. I also think that the 651 had a different carburetor on it. Not positive on that at all. But I think that's it. They had the same cylinder set up, which is going to be an open port, but I don't know if it's quad open port or if it's just dual open port. I don't know. But right off the bat, the first thing that I noticed was this choke. All right, you pull it out to choke it, then you push it in, and can you see that red button? That red button is sticking out. It's part of the linkage here for the choke, and whenever you get it off of high idle, that pops back in. So that red button indicates high idle, which that's pretty nifty. I like that. I mean, one thing that you don't need, but it's nifty and I dig it. He was saying that there was some sort of an issue with the brake. Yeah. Well, so it is working, right? But it is real stiff. See, like it's not on right there. There you go. And you really got to pull it back hard. So it probably just needs to be cleaned up. Maybe I'll get to that, maybe I won't. But I will say it's still tight in there. It's not spinning like I feel it should. So I'm going to go ahead and take that apart right now and see if maybe... Oh, damn it. There it is. I see it. Lucky. That was just sheer luck right there. All right. All right, it doesn't seem to be catching on anything, so it would appear that it is this bearing that's just probably just needs a little bit of lube. So I'm going to lube that up. All right, what I do for these clutch bearings, I just use axle grease. It's red, so I think that indicates it's possibly intended for a higher RPM and higher temperatures. I don't know that it would matter, but just what I do. I just literally put it on there and try and pack it in as best I can. But yeah, that is definitely turning more slick now. So yeah, all right. Looks like it probably came with safety caps, and the safety caps have been removed from the carburetor. Best I can figure out online with the bar mount is it is going to be a Husqvarna small mount. I have a Husqvarna small mount right here that I have drilled out the oil hole, and yes, that lines up perfectly. So it's definitely a Husqvarna small mount. So yeah, I'm going to throw a bar and chain on this thing, get some fluids in it, and we'll put it in the wood, see how she cuts. All right, here we go. I know that's a little bit, that's a lot of wood for a saw like this, but it's what I have available to me right now. So this is the very first startup. Might have to tune it a little bit. We'll see how she goes. It does have a primer bulb. Everything that I'm looking at, this is a really well-built saw. So, high hopes. Whoa. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Well. Started easy. Ah, that brake. See what she got. Give it a little bit more gas. Okay. Thoughts on the matter. So seems to be like a good solid built saw. They rated these things at 4 horsepower, or at least that's what it says on Mike Akers' site. Maybe it's 4 horsepower for the non-SP model. And for those of you out there that don't know, SP typically stands for semi-pro. So this would be the step down, the dumbed down version of the hotter saw, the 651. So, yeah, they rated, according to Mike Akers' site, rated at 4 horsepower. Definitely think that that is a real hopeful suggestion. I don't think that this was 4 horsepower ever. Probably about 3.4 would be a guess that I would make. But I mean, it's fine. It seems like a really good saw. Seems like it's probably got the platform that would wake up with a nice port job and muffler mod. But am I going to do that? Probably not. I'm probably going to go right now and drain the fuel out of this thing and sit it on the shelf, because it is a really nice, pretty example of a collectible chainsaw that I want to keep in my collection. So that's what it is to me, and that's the way it's going to get treated. Am I going to ever do anything with it as far as modifications? Probably not. Probably not. Let's say I could get this thing to perform as good as the Thunder Kitten does. Let's say I could do that. So, I would still reach for the Thunder Kitten before I reached for this, because this is just a collector saw. So what would be the point, you know? It's cool. I like that I have it. It was a really good deal that we worked out. So Joe has a seemingly never ran Poland Bad Boy, but it doesn't have any stickers on it. So is it a legit Poland Bad Boy? My opinion would be absolutely no. There is not a chance in hell that all the stickers just fell off of it. You know, what somebody did was this is my guess, is just all a guess. What somebody did was they took a never before ran 3750, Poland 3750, and they purchased the purple plastics for the top. And then they took all the other stickers off and said, hey, we got a bad boy, right? Which somebody might have some controversy with that. I don't, because what makes a Poland Bad Boy a Poland Bad Boy? There's really only two things, right? Purple plastics, which are hen's teeth. You can't find those things, right? Purple plastics and the decals. Well, he never had the decals, and I supplied him with the decals, and he needed a knob for the air filter cover as well. And so at this point, he has a Poland Bad Boy, you know? Does anybody care about replica decals? I know I don't. I've used them before. You know, I don't care about that. And the decals that I do, while they're not perfect, they're pretty dang close. They're really nice. And the purple plastics on a Poland Bad Boy are the things that are really, really unattainable. And so literally I traded some decals and an air filter knob for this saw. Part of that is, you know, Joe watches the channel, he likes the channel, he wants to support the channel, cool, right? The other part of it is, I'm the only person making decals for a Poland Bad Boy. There ain't nobody else. It probably took me seriously 20 hours, maybe more like 30 hours to replicate those decals. And that's why you don't see them anywhere, right? It is extremely time intensive. It was hard to replicate those decals, and I do not let them go cheap, right? I worked hard on those. And so the amount of people that's going to get a set of those are going to have to fucking pay. All right. And now I just dropped an F-bomb. Some of the people that might be new to this channel are like, what? You know, yeah, I drop F-bombs every now and then. I'm a real person. So anyways, yeah, the trade worked out both in my favor as well as in Joe's favor. I have no idea how much he paid for this saw. Probably pretty damn cheap though, you know, because he wouldn't have been willing to do that, or he just wouldn't have gotten it. But let's say he's got $50 in the saw. Now he has a set of stickers that will turn his chainsaw from a $300 chainsaw into a $600 chainsaw, possibly more, because it appears to be never have ran, or at least if it's ran, not much at all. So now he's got a really collectible saw. So I'm very happy with the deal. Joe, I hope you're happy with the deal. I hope you get the stickers any day now, if you don't already have them. And yeah, golden. I dig it. But would I recommend? I mean, so far, I bet you it'd really come alive with a muffler mod. But who cares? I'm not going to use this as an actual work saw. This is a collector, man. And I'm happy keeping it just the way that it is. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys.